What's up, everybody? I'm in the Prodigy factory. I've never been in other than a small factory, I've never been in a factory this big before, that's for sure. But this is pretty overwhelming. There's all kinds of discs in here. When I was 12 or 13 years old, I went to a summer camp, a church camp kind of thing, and I saw 9 baskets out in the field, and it just looked super fun. I saw somebody slinging some frisbees at it, and I just kind of caught interest. I asked somebody to show me what that was, and they brought me to their shed of what is probably some really good discs, some old frisbees in the shed. And he took me out and I immediately learned how to sidearm. I could get it to go full flex with something pretty overstable, and I loved it. So that was how I began, but that worked into me going home and finding the weekly league. Once I found the weekly league at my house in my home area, I went crazy and I was addicted. After school, when my parents were still working, I'd walk to the course and go play around, or I'd go play the 530 Mini with all the old dudes, and those are super good memories for me. It was always something that I went out and tried to beat my previous score at. I was never going out for pure fun. I wanted to go out and try to improve and try to compete with myself. One very memorable moment that I can think of off the top of my head was my first tournament. I played the juniors division, and it was me versus I think 3 other kids, and I won by a lot. I won by a lot of strokes, but I was so angry with myself because I played terrible in my mind. Another memory that comes to my mind is when I competed in the Glassblown Open in 2011 in the advanced division. I was 14 years old, I believe, and I was winning going into the last hole by 3 strokes, and I ended up taking a double bogey, and I lost by 1 on the final hole of the Glassblown Open, and that was another moment that absolutely lit my fire and got me going in disc golf. I don't know what I've done to deserve the fans that I deserve. I just try to be nice to as many people as possible all around the country, and my Arkansas fans are just crazy. They're so awesome. Back in Russellville, Fort Smith, or Fayetteville, all 3 areas are like, technically I could call it my home. So it's nice to be able to go back to Arkansas and have an incredible amount of support. When I started playing disc golf, I started with sidearm. I could really do like a baseball style throw with an overstable disc, and I could get it to fly so far immediately. And so that was what kind of hooked me on the sport, was getting a disc to fly that far. But at one point in my disc golf career, you could say, I realized that if I want to be good, you have to have a backhand. You almost have to have a backhand. There's more control to be had in it, and you can throw it farther and do a little bit, you can do more things with a backhand. And so what I did was I just started playing disc golf with backhands only, and it was extremely frustrating at first. I lost a lot of distance, but I just got to where I was trusting it more and more, and each day I was throwing it further and further, and that's what it took to get a backhand down. So what was my weakness is now my strength by far. I'm making many more jump putts and making a much higher percentage of my inside the circle putts as well, and I think that's been a huge help in improving my game. 2017, I started really working hard in disc golf. That was the first year that I wasn't doing any other sport. So I was full-time disc golf. I was practicing every day. This year's been extremely surreal, and having the success that I had this year is just making me extremely confident for the years that come. I think my background in sports, in competitive sports, is absolutely an advantage to my skill on the disc golf course and my mindset. And so maybe playing college football for a year or hitting a couple game-winning field goals in high school was enough preparation and experience to be able to compete at a high level in disc golf. I decided who I was going to play for next year around the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. I had been in communication with multiple companies up until then, lots of decisions to make and lots of different factors to understand and to think about. And so I was finally able to make a decision at the Pro Tour Championship. A few players from different companies reached out to me. It was cool because I just got to see their perspective and where they had been, what they had been doing there in their lives, and how they promoted their brands and what successes they had and what failures they had. So I was able to talk to a few players, especially very respectable players, that were able to give me very solid advice. Making the decision to go with Prodigy was something that came down to where I saw myself in 10 years, way down the line, and I believe that with all Prodigy's locations, the unlimited supply of their great discs, and the good pro players on their team that have extremely high potential, such as Chris Dickerson, Seppo Paiu, Kayla Viska, shows me incredible potential, and that's what I see in Prodigy, and that's my decision-making factor. I have to say Seppo Paiu. He's been a friend of mine for quite a while. Ever since I started touring, we became good buddies, and I respect the fire out of him. I think he's an extremely good competitor. I think he's definitely top 5 in the world currently, and he has potential to be the best in the world. So I look forward to feeding off of Seppo. I think we'll be up at the top quite a bit in the next years. As far as discs that I'm beginning to like, I'm starting to love the H3 V2. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but I'm loving it in 750 plastic. It's extremely stable, so I can throw it as hard as I want, and it's just gonna go straight for a long time. It doesn't have too much flex to it, so I really like that disc. I also really like the A2. The A2 is gonna be a staple in my bag as well for both backhand and forehand shots. This off-season, I believe I'll be working on gap hitting with fast drivers. I think the D series is going to be something that I can very well utilize, but I'm not extremely good at hitting very tight gaps with fast drivers, so I'm going to work on that hard. I'm going to work on it, hitting them with hyzer angles, flat angles, and hyzer angles, and improve that, because I think I'll be throwing the D series a lot. I'll have a 4-day-a-week workout regimen with not too heavy of weights, but definitely it will be an extraneous workout with pull-ups and sprints, explosiveness drills, maybe power cleans, and then I'll be practicing almost every day as well, with putting usually coming along with practicing. You can expect to see me at every Pro Tour event, every National Tour event, and nearly every major as well. I'll get to travel to Europe for a week for the European Open, and I will be at plenty of your local A tiers in between. Everybody, next season, guys, you can expect a lot of media content. In the bags, I would expect multiple in the bags, and I think they're going to be very in-depth, very useful. You can expect tons of tournaments from me, hopefully a lot of high finishes, and a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this next year. It's going to be something to remember. I'm Kevin Jones, and I'm proud to be powered by Prodigy.